Hello everybody, it's Foo here, and today I'm bringing you another Pokemon video, this time looking at Galarian Slowbro, newly added in the Isle of Armor DLC. Very, very fun Pokemon. I love the typing, and the design's pretty cool too. What I wanted to consider was this Pokemon using Belly Drum, because I think it has a lot of potential, combined with its quick draw ability that allows it to move first 20% of the time. So you've basically got a 1 in 5 chance for this ridiculously strong Pokemon after a Belly Drum to take out your opponent's Pokemon before they even get a chance to move, which is really, really stupid and really fun, but I wanted to optimize this as much as possible. So I put together this really fun gimmicky team, which I can't wait to show you. I'm going to show you first like the potential for Belly Drum Galarian Slowbro, and then the real gimmick team after that in some battles. So in this first battle, my opponent is leading a rain lead. They've got a Politoed and a Mantine, which is relatively commonly seen now, I guess, although Mantine isn't the strongest Pokemon with only base 80 special attack. I've got Thwarp, my Oranguru, and I've got High Noon, my shiny Galarian Slowbro, very gratefully traded to me from Riser, one of my subscribers, so thank you to you. And so anyway, my opponent's going to Dynamax first turn with their Mantine. Really very expected. I didn't think that they would do anything else, to be honest. But what's cool about this strategy is that it forces the opponent to decide whether they want to stop me getting up Trick Room or setting up a Belly Drum, because either of those is really, really great for momentum in my favor, and it, without even realizing, the opponent's put under a lot of pressure turn one. They decide to Helping Hand Max Geyser into my Oranguru, which is going to one-shot it, which is insanely powerful. Life Orb, Rain Boosted and everything. Very, very terrifying. But it does mean that my Galarian Slowbro can just Belly Drum next door without taking any damage, which is so great. And I can get my Citrus Berry off, landing me at 75% health, which is really, really nice. And +6 attack, which is going to be really, really destructive. I do have a Gastrodon in the back, which is going to be great against this rain team. And now you can see that it is High Noon because Quick Draw activates, so I'm going to be moving first this turn. Let's just Dynamax my Slowbro right here and see what happens. So yeah, despite the Mantine being in rain, with the Swift Swim, Quick Draw just comes in and it kind of disrupts everything. I can go straight for a Max Ooze going before my opponent. My opponent's trying to get a really powerful attack off with a Mantine. They go for Helping Hand. Little do they know that it's High Noon and Max Ooze is going to come out and take out that Mantine. So goodbye Dynamax Pokemon. I get a special attack boost on both of my Pokemon. I mean, obviously that's not very useful for my physical Galarian Slowbro, but I paired it up with some good special attackers. Oranguru appreciates a special attack boost, and my Gastrodon appreciates a special attack boost. You can see here, I can go for the Earth Power, do decent damage to the Slowbro, to the Politoed. It looks like a specially defensive Politoed. I actually get the special defense drop, which means that I can take it out next turn. And then Crocodile comes in. So this is a dark type. It does threaten Slowbro. The Intimidate's not too bad because I'm still at +5 attack, so I'll still be one-shotting pretty much everything. What I decide to do here is just protect with my Slowbro. Politoed's not threatening anything because I've got Storm Drain, Gastrodon, and I'm going to Scold into this Crocodile. And you can see that they try to Darkest Lariat into Slowbro. It's not going to work, and at +1 special attack in the rain, which my opponent graciously gave to me, I'm able to one-shot the Crocodile, which is fantastic. So now my opponent only has Politoed and Cinderace, and I don't think there's anything they could do to one-shot my Slowbro. They go for a Helping Hand and a Libero Sucker Punch, which is actually probably the strongest thing that they could try to do. But Slowbro has really, really good defense, so even uninvested, I'm able to take that quite easily and go for another Max Ooze into the Libero Cinderace and take it out and get another special attack boost. So that's really, really fantastic. And it means that I can just go for an Earth Power into the Politoed on the same turn and try to take that out too. So that was a really, really quick battle to show you how potent this Slowbro is. That Quick Draw ability is really gross and can get you out of some sticky situations. I have to say, in that one, I think just by Dynamaxing my Slowbro, even if I hadn't got the Quick Draw on the Mantine, I think I could have survived a hit because it would have to go for Max Airstream, and it's not the most powerful Pokemon out there. So I think I probably could have survived one hit and taken it out anyway, and Gastrodon had a really great matchup the rest of the time. But it did get the quick draw, that's why I run the ability, and that's why this gimmick works pretty well. But let's move on to the next battle where I can show you the actual gimmick behind the team and why this is really, really fun to use. Before we get into the next battle, if you are enjoying my content and you want to see more, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. I don't have an upload schedule, so click the notification button if you don't want to miss any. My opponent decides to lead with Dragapult and Gothitelle. Gothitelle's a really interesting choice. I haven't seen it used so much recently. It's generally seen on like Perish trap teams. But there's no Perisong on Dragapult, so maybe it's a competitive Pokemon. I didn't actually check. On the first turn, my opponent's Dragapult is going for a Phantom Force and disappearing, presumably into my Slowbro, as my Oranguru is taunted, meaning it can't go for Trick Room, but I'm able to get my Belly Drum off okay in this battle, and you'll actually see the trick behind this combo, because Oranguru and Slowbro, pretty good friends. So I get to eat my Citrus Berry back to 75%, and then Symbiosis kicks in, which gives Slowbro the Quick Claw, which means that it now has a better than 1 in 3 chance of going first, rather than just Quick Draw. I also have the Quick Claw. So you see, it's High Noon again, Quick Draw is activating. I'm also going to Dynamax my Slowbro because I'm pretty comfortable with the chances of me surviving a Phantom Force if I do Dynamax. So I was thinking, regardless of what happens this turn, even if I don't get Quick Draw or Quick Claw, I should be able to survive and hopefully take out the Gothitelle. So that's what I do. I go for a Max Ooze into the Gothitelle, take that out, no Focus Sash in sight, and I'm able to give Oranguru a special attack boost. So some nice synergy there because my Oranguru does have a special attack. And now Dragapult, a little bit late to the party, comes and goes for the Phantom Force, doing a really good amount of damage to Slowbro, but not taking it out, as I can go for Expanding Force onto the Dragapult, doing about half after that special attack boost, which is fantastic. Now my opponent sends out a Togekiss, and I'm thinking that probably we're going to see some Follow Me's here, something like that to keep the Dragapult safe. Or potentially they're going to Dynamax their Togekiss. They could Dynamax either of their Pokemon right now. They do actually Dynamax their Togekiss, which is good news for me because I think the only way that Dragapult could take out my Slowbro this turn is if it went for a Dynamax. I think Phantom Force obviously will be next turn and Dragon Darts won't, unless it's got this weird dragon move, I don't know. So it does go for a Phantom Force as Togekiss is protecting, which means I'm not going to be able to hit the opponent with any attacks this turn, but that's fine. So I'm just going for a Mindstorm into the Togekiss right now, and I shake off the taunt, which is pretty cool, but I do get High Noon the next turn. We get the Quick Draw on the Togekiss, and we're going to be able to take that out with a Max Mindstorm. You've already seen that I'm using Expanding Force, so I've given my Oranguru +1 special attack, and the Psychic Terrain, which has given it a huge boost in its damage potential. So that's really good on my part. And that's where the synergy between these two comes into play. Dynamax Slowbro actually supports Oranguru really well. Oranguru obviously supports Slowbro really well with things like Trick Room and Instruct, which we haven't seen yet. So anyway, unfortunately, Slowbro does faint here, but I'm able to take out the Dragapult with a now boosted Expanding Force that does a ton of damage. We've taken out 3 of my opponent's Pokemon. They only have 1 left, which is an Azumarill. Not feeling too threatened right now because I do have a Gastrodon in the back. But I decided to send in my Togekiss first. It has Yawn, so I thought if we get a Yawn off on this Azumarill, that's pretty much a sealed win here. And I can go for some really powerful Expanding Forces on the Azumarill, but it has Steel Roller, which is really bad for a number of reasons. 1, it takes out my Togekiss, and 2, it gets rid of the Psychic Terrain, which actually halves the damage output of Expanding Force, which is really, really rubbish. It does have Life Orb. The Azumarill has a Life Orb, so at least it will be wearing itself down. But you can see here, a +1 Expanding Force without the Psychic Terrain doesn't do all that much. But as I said, I've got my Gastrodon in the back. It should be able to survive any hit, and you can see here it does. It takes a little bit more Life Orb chip. I go for an Earth Power, and it's actually going to take out the Azumarill. It was a crit, not a big deal because I had Expanding Force coming out as well, so that one was sealed up too. I thought this battle was really cool because I showed you the gimmick. It's basically passing a Quick Claw to a Quick Draw Slowbro, so once you have your +6 attack, you have a 1 in 3 chance of always going first, and that's without factoring in the fact that you might also get up Trick Room. So yeah, pretty fun, pretty ridiculous, and it definitely rage inducing if you're on the receiving end of it, because if you have your nicely set up like Dynamax Pokemon and it just gets one shot because of Quick Draw or Quick Claw, it's so cheesy, but it's so fun. So let's move on to the next battle, which showcases a different mode of the team, which I think is really important to show, and is actually against the water team that won a tournament recently. Kind of mono water, but it's cheating a little bit because it's got a dark Urshifu on it. So anyway, my opponent's going to lead off with a Lapras and a Seaking, as I lead off with Togekiss and my Slowbro. I have to do this because I know they've got a dark type Urshifu and it's so threatening to the Oranguru and Slowbro lead, so I could go for some follow me's with Togekiss if they wanted to lead with Urshifu. What I actually decide to do when I see that there's no Urshifu there is just yawn into the Lapras, because it's obviously going to Dynamax. So if I can yawn into Lapras and force it to fall asleep, that's really great. I can reduce its Dynamax turns, and that will be very, very helpful. And I'm obviously going to click Belly Drum as well. So the yawn does come off here, which is really nice. And then the Lapras goes for a G-Max Resonance. At the time, I wasn't aware of the spreads on this water team, but it just one-shots my Togekiss because it's a Life Orb max special attack Lapras, which is really, really strong, and I had no idea. So I didn't expect that it would do that much to my Togekiss, because it's a relatively bulky Togekiss, but yeah, it just takes it out, which isn't great. Seaking doesn't have great damage output, but it does have Horn Drill, so you have to watch out about that. But the Scald really doesn't do that much damage, so I'm easily able to get off the Belly Drum. Fortunately, it doesn't burn me, because that would have been really bad too. With the burn and the Aurora Veil, I wouldn't be doing enough damage at all with my +6 Slowbro. But I am able to get the Belly Drum, and I am able to heal above half, which is pretty neat. Now I can go into my Gastrodon, which has a really good matchup against the water type team, but I'm very conscious right now that Lapras generally carries electric type moves. If they get a max lightning off, they can set up electric terrain and prevent themselves from falling asleep to yawn. So I wanted to prevent that. I'm expecting either a switch out from Lapras or a max lightning into my Slowbro. So I'm going to max guard here. I'm thinking that this is the best play because it ensures that I'll only get one more turn. Well, yeah, one more turn of Lapras Dynamax and then it's gone. I wasn't expecting them to just stay in and go for another G-Max Resonance into my Gastrodon. It does so much damage, and not only that, they go for an Ice Beam into it with the Seaking as well. Maybe I should have predicted it, because obviously Gastrodon is a huge threat to water type teams, but it's kind of okay because their Lapras is asleep now. They've lost their Dynamax, and I have my Slowbro 2 turns of Dynamax left at +6 attack, but they do have their Aurora Veil, so I need to bear that in mind too. So the Gyarados comes in here, and I'm really hoping that Seaking can't take me out with an Ice Beam, but it does take me out, which sucks really badly because that would have been a very helpful Pokemon to have. But fortunately, I can get my Max Ooze off. Now, this isn't even a particularly powerful Dynamax move. It's only base 90 power, and the opponent has Aurora Veil up. But despite those things, I'm still easily going to be able to take out their Seaking, which is great. Seaking doesn't have particularly good physical bulk, so I can take that out pretty easily. Now we're against the Urshifu and the Gyarados, and I've got my Eldebarge, the Rillaboom, out here. What I'm going to do is fake out into Urshifu, as it is high noon, so we've got the Quick Draw activation. It doesn't actually matter this round. I'm going to fake out into the Urshifu, and I want to take it out because that's the biggest threat to Slowbro right now. The dark type attacks would hurt so much. And I go for another Max Ooze, and again, even with the Aurora Veil and a very bulky Pokemon, it's got base 100 HP and defense, it just drops to a +6 Max Ooze, which, as I said, it's not a particularly strong max move. So that's crazy. That's really, really cool. I can take that out. And then we've only got Gyarados and a sleeping Lapras to worry about, so it's not too bad at all. So yeah, now my Dynamax runs out, which sucks a little bit because I lose all that bulk. But it looks like another waterfall from Gyarados won't take me out, and I just survive. I'm hoping that I don't get flinched, but I do decide to double into Gyarados here just to ensure that I can 2-hit KO it with my Rillaboom even if I flinch. Lapras takes its first turn of sleep, and I just Poison Jab into the Gyarados, no flinches here to take that out. And I'm basically in a really good position because obviously Rillaboom or Slowbro should be able to take this Lapras out from here, and it hopefully can't take both of us out, but if it has Blizzard, which I now know it does, it could do a lot of damage. The Aurora Veil wears off though, I can go for the Grassy Glide, and it does take out the Lapras because I'm like a really strong Miracle Seed Rillaboom. So that will be the game against the water team that you're going to be seeing everywhere, and it worked pretty well. Don't get confused by the Urshifu, it is a dark type Urshifu, and that will screw over your psychic types, so watch out for that. The last battle I've got is one that I just wanted to showcase how good a support Pokemon Oranguru is. In the others, I kind of wanted to showcase the quick draw activations because they're fun and ridiculous, but this is showing you like actually most battles kind of run like this. So my opponent leads with Sylveon and Dragapult, as I lead with the Oranguru Slowbro lead, and I want to try to get Trick Room up. So this is basically showing you what happens when you get both Belly Drum and Trick Room set up, because usually you're kind of thinking I can get one or the other and be in a good position. In this one, if you get both, oh my god, the pain. So the opponent's Dragapult goes for U-turn. Don't see that too much. Kind of an interesting positioning move. I was thinking maybe they just want to get out of there before Trick Room goes up. I don't know. And they've got Psyshock on their Sylveon 2, which does only a little bit of damage to my Slowbro, so I'm able to get the Belly Drum off here, which is really great. And obviously Oranguru hasn't taken much damage, so I'm going to be able to set up the Trick Room 2 and be in a pretty great position because, I mean, obviously I get the Quick Claw and I've still got Quick Draw, but I don't really need them because Slowbro is going to be the slowest Pokemon on the field, so that's great. So what I'm going to do, I do get the Quick Draw. As I say, it's high noon, but I don't need it to be. I'm going to attack into the Lapras because I kind of expected it to Dynamax, but that's not what happened. Maybe they wanted to get a Perisong off to ensure that my Slowbro went down, or just to try and mess with the Trick Room turns. But you can see that Poison Jab just one-shots that Lapras, and I have Instruct on my Oranguru. That's why I didn't Dynamax my Slowbro, is because Instruct fails on Dynamax Pokemon, which sucks a little bit. But it's fine here because you see that if you do get your Trick Room up, you don't need to Dynamax. You only need to Dynamax really if you're taking damage, but if you're fast and you're not taking damage, you are dealing enough damage without max move. So here you can see I take out the Sylveon, we go for another Instruct onto the Dragapult. It does unfortunately resist the Poison Jab, but that doesn't matter because I'm at +6 attack, so we're going to one-shot that Dragapult. It does have the Rocky Helmet, so I don't think this is the most competitive team out there, but it's just a battle that I wanted to show you how quickly things could go if you get the Trick Room and Belly Drum off, because you can just Instruct and deal stupid amounts of damage. That's going to be the video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you want to try the team, I'll leave the code here. It's very gimmicky, it doesn't always work. You might need to like play a few games to get the hang of it. A quick note about why I'm running Poison Jab over Shell Sidearm is when you Dynamax, Shell Sidearm is always a special max ooze. It's never a physical max ooze, so obviously on a Belly Drum set, that's not going to be doing any damage, so you want Poison Jab if you're going to be Dynamaxing your physical Slowbro. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing for more content, and I don't have an upload schedule, so if you don't want to miss a video, make sure you click the notification button. That's going to be all for today. I've been Foo, you've been awesome, and hopefully see you next time. Goodbye.